I'm Abhishek Durrani. I like to be called Durrani. We are unapologetic. We want to be fun. We love play. We want to be stupid sometimes. We want to be simple. You have to understand branding and design was a hobby first for me. Right? It started as freelancing when I was already studying in college. So branding design was always an escape. So it could never be boring, right? So how I inclined, how I attached myself to this industry, it could never be boring. I have ADHD, right? It's my superpower, to be honest. So, if you know about ADHD, there is that aspect of anti boring. We did this big ass mural for Smash Guys. Smash Guys is a brand
Yeah.
that we have done.
Burgers, right?
Yeah, Smash Burgers. We called it Smash Guys. And just few months ago, they wanted one mural as well. It was a very awkward space, like a very horizontal but very less height. So we took a concept of the Last Supper, and the idea was let's bring all the Smash Guys, all the people that have worked on this brand, and let's put them on the Last Supper table. Can I do that? And can you put that graphic? So what do you see on the screen? This we did. And this was a very interesting AI process that we did. And actually, a lot of inquiries that we get is when people search top studios in Bangalore on ChatGPT or Gemini, and we get featured a lot of times.
Yeah. Brown bacon.
Hi, Abhishek. Welcome to the Ground Bacon. How's it going?
All good, man. Cheers. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah. How was your cricket match before the podcast?
Man, I'm very competitive and I had a great game. I took a lot of wickets, so happy.
Nice. Do you like a? Are you like a fast bowler?
I mean, funny story. I started as a spinner in school,
Yeah.
went to nationals as a spinner, and then my height grew a bit too much, could not control my spin, moved to batting. But then you also need to be a bowler. So
Yeah.
then now I'm a pace bowler and a batsman as well.
I mean, that's a very that doesn't happen a lot. I've seen a lot of medium pacers shifting to spinner, like becoming spinners.
Yeah.
Than other way around.
Yeah. And I was a leg spinner. And leg spinner is very difficult,
yeah.
right? You have to
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
control it.
Your fingers are sore after the
Yeah, I
after
think
maybe even
even
couple of.
if I'm not wrong, Amarnath, he also has a similar story. Like he also like something happened to his height or something, and then it becomes difficult to control. So
Yeah.
I had a similar thing, but no regrets.
Abhishek, if you can introduce yourself to our audience, the stuff you've been doing.
Yeah, for sure. I'm Abhishek Durrani. I like to be called Durrani. Don't ask me why, but if you do, it's because I have thousands Abhisheks everywhere. I'm from Chandigarh, a Kashmiri migrant, born brought up in Chandigarh. By my education in college, I have done architecture in Ahmedabad. That's where I met my business partner, Netra, also my wife. But throughout my school days, I've been into art. I'm also a musician, so that plays a huge role of who I am. Now it's been almost 7 years with Studio Sorted, a branding agency that we have set up in Bangalore. How we started, it was something like a multidisciplinary studio because we wanted to be an architect. We wanted to be architecture and branding combined as an offering. But over the years, it has been a great journey of how we have found linear, how we have found pleasure in making things
Yeah.
linear. And yes, I think we really take our play seriously. We take pride in combining strategy and design and research and coming up with brands that just make sense. And I would say one more thing that really is signature to us is we are really proud and bullish on India 2.0, right? Like we really want like people to look at India not from the old lens, from a new or a present lens, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Apart from that, I don't know if there is anything else you want to ask me.
Yeah, I think the first time I found Studio Sorted was maybe this the branding that you did for Theka.
Take a coffee.
Yeah, Theka
Yes.
Coffee, and so it's a funny story. I think I saw Theka somewhere in Delhi, and
Yeah.
I just
Did you see the
looked.
cart?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
cart. I think
Yeah.
initially they had this cart
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
people were moving around. Then it kind of looked nice and polished, like the
Yeah.
branding side, right? Then I looked up on Instagram and came up to Studio Sorted, and then I also noticed that you were doing some good amount of projects around architecture. So
Yeah.
I am really curious about is it the architectural part the related your education and your craft, and how does branding comes into the picture, or are these interrelated for you in terms of
Um,
running Studio Sorted?
it's a conversation I've had many times with architects and non-architects. Okay, so one thing, uh, I think I'll give a lot of credit to who I am right now and what our agency is because of the curriculum I had in my college. I studied in SEPT University, beautiful college, beautiful culture, beautiful curriculum. And I feel as an architect, what it does to you is it makes you a person who looks at 360. Both me and my wife, both me and my partner, both of us are architects. Both of us are trained to be sensitive to everything, right? Like we like in our college years and when we do architecture projects, goes something wrong in foundation, your whole building falls, right? So that kind of fear, that kind of sensibility is what makes us look at everything at everything all at once every time. So I feel that has really added something which I would say helps my vision. And right now, if all the projects, if I have to contribute something, my biggest role is the vision. And I think the vision comes from the fact that it has to be a 360 vision, right? So, yes, oftentimes I have found that it's so lovely to work with architects or spatial designers converted into designers because they have this tendency of
Yeah.
looking, at all directions or thinking of three steps ahead as well. So, definitely, I think that is, I would say, one of the X factors. Branding came throughout my college years, as soon as I figured out, oh wow, Photoshop, and I figured out, softwares. And then I met my partner. We both started collaborating for college projects first. And then I realized, wow, she's a brilliant artist. She has all the patience. I have all the ideas. I don't have any patience. Why don't we just work together? And that's how it started. That's the grassroots of Studio Started, right? That's the grassroots of Studio Sorted, where it's all about collaboration, where you just bring something on the table which you are at best. You do not try to do something that it's not meant for you. And that's how it all started. We started, I feel it's a very signature thing to a lot of design community in India where a lot of young designers start with events and posters
Yeah.
because that's an ecosystem which is able to afford only young students and designers. Similarly, we also got that
There's also creative freedom, I think, when you
you
do
have
that.
creative freedem. You're working with people who also want something wacky and absurd, something fresh. You can, and they also want to work with you because they saw something in your or like default work which they want to like expand on. So it's a really good ecosystem.
Yeah.
you know I would wish I would still do more of these, but now I can't afford that because I have a lot of team that I have to take care of. But earlier days, what a great start! And because of my music, because of my band and the friends I had in the industry, that is what helped me. Even Chandiga that you mentioned, I'm glad you mentioned because Ga, shout out to them because they were the first ones. They were actually the ones who gave me my first project,
Yeah.
right? They were the ones who actually spotted that this guy is doing something. What I was doing at that time, probably making some mixed media collages. He saw something, is like, that's cool. I don't mind my poster being something like that. And that was the starting of everything. Actually, Karan Vajar, Sahil Vajar, thank you so much for trusting me.
Yeah, I mean that's actually shown in your work a lot, Abhishek. I specifically wanted to talk about that. You folks are making sure at every point that you come out as folks who are fun, who are maybe witty and doing
Yeah,
stupid things and not
yeah,
apologetic about it.
yeah,
I absolutely love the how you I think you made of like a micro reel with Afif,
yeah,
where I think two elephants are
yeah,
coming,
yeah,
getting taking birth, and I think that was bang on, and that
yeah,
kind of defines the position you're building, and
100%.
that's also rare. Like I haven't seen much, people doing it because I think, like for example, even in my case, like if I try, I'll be a little careful if I do it because I don't know like how I I'm putting myself out there and sort of what message it's going out, the kind of message is going out. But in your case, I think you're doing it very confidently. Where is this coming from? I mean, I'm
Great.
really
Yeah,
curious
great
to know that.
question. And I think if I think about it, there are two important factors that has led to this. One, you have to understand branding and design was a hobby first for me, right? It started as freelancing when I was already studying in college for extra money for all the things that I can't mention here. So branding design was always an escape, so it could never be boring, right? So how I inclined, how I attached myself to this industry, it could never be boring. So even from that day, from the start of that to now, I'm always seeking fun and play and challenge in whatever design we are doing. So that has dictated a lot of projects and briefs that we take up, right? Secondly, I have ADHD, right? It's my superpower, to be honest. It took me a lot of years to figure out, but in the last 3 years, I would say I've been, properly diagnosed, and I know what it means, and I know how to go about it. So if you know about ADHD, you there is that aspect of anti-boring. Like
Yeah.
I mean, there is no space for boring or dullness, and so what you just mentioned, that video, those things are just attempts to just escape sometimes. And I could do a lot of those, but obviously, we have to maintain and balance the work, because bread and butter is the
Yeah.
projects that, and even there also, right? Like for an agency, a very ideal positioning is that who I am and what we do is out there, right? Just like you mentioned, right? We are unapologetic. We want to be fun. We love play. We want to be stupid sometimes. We want to be simple. I want my potential clients to know that already and then approach us, which is the a scenario. And that doesn't mean I'm only subjective, or I'm only specific to few genres of work. I feel even a funeral company can come to me, and every brand that exists, every logo, or every visual real estate that somebody sees, the least we can do as designers is just elevate or give them some sense of dopamine, right? We
Hmm.
don't need to be dull or boring,
Yeah.
right? So I think that's just the formula that we apply to everything. There has been circumstances where I feel, with the brief or a client, that guys, what do you want me to do? I can do it, but I don't think we agree with it. We don't feel like if something is for an X kind of audience, we have to be this way. Everybody deserves to have elevation. Everybody deserves to see something that uplifts them.
Yeah.
So I feel these are some of the philosophies that have stayed true to us. But yeah, just to summarize everything, we take our play seriously. I think it's a statement which is on my website as well, if I'm not wrong. And I think that summarizes it.
Yeah, I think by doing that, you automatically, number one, you attract a certain clients
Yeah.
who wants that sort of work. Other than that, it
Other than
also
that, I'll tell you also, it helps, which I've realized is it attracts clients, and it attracts a lot of people who are working in big companies and decision makers, and they somehow feel that it'll be fun to work with Studio Sorted. So
yeah.
let me pitch this to my bosses or my head. So that has also helped us. That's like, we have been in the rooms where we don't need to be. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've seen bunch of this big business marketers talking about how the value of you getting attention is more than someone who has an MBA. I think you're doing that very well. Um, Also, I've also been seeing like the kind of work you folks have been doing is very illustration oriented, very loud, right? So for example, maybe a coffee brand or a kombucha brand like would love to come up to you and like build their brand. Is it something that you sort of specialize in? I think now I would like to take this sort of conversation to the business side of
Yeah.
design and branding. What are the sort of projects that you think that first I would like to know more about the work you've done. I'm sure plethora of stuff that we've been seeing on social media is something that you're allowed to show, and there's bunch of it that you're maybe not
We're
allowed to
just
show.
more than not allowed to show. We're just lazy. It takes 1 or 2 years for the
Yeah.
projects to go out. But yeah, okay. A very simple answer to that would be, I think we are a very ideal fit for consumer-facing brands, right? But that doesn't mean that B2B. Why should only consumer-facing brands have all the fun? In the past, we have done some B2B brands which have aimed for, you know, upliftment and fun. Like we just did DNB, design and build brand for WeWork India, built their brand called Rivet. But the approach that they had was, we want to work with Sorted because I don't want anything boring or that typical B2B stuff. So I think anybody that wants their brand to be not boring, we are the right fit for it. Oftentimes, it happens to be a great fit for consumer facing brands because consumers are so like customers, consumers are such a nice challenge, right? And the way we build brands, we really dig deep into who we are selling it to, why we are selling it to, who is selling it. So when we get the perfect combination of all these stakeholders, we create an identity, we create a strategy that will work for it, right? So one of the brands I would say, only What's Needed by Food Pharma. It's a
Yeah,
protein
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's all done by us. It was a participate. I mean,
Yeah, the whole packaging is basically the label,
exactly,
which is
exactly, right.
very
And when Ravant came to us, his brief was, I want the most boring packaging, the most transparent packaging, the most clean packaging in the world of clean, clean, clean. And I want the whole world in country to participate in that. Like when we have briefs like this, that also challenges us, right? And my answer to him was, I do everything of that except the part boring, because nobody likes boring. You can make something,
yeah.
everything that wants to achieve that you have said, without making it boring, right? So
Would
yeah.
love to know more about the process for this specific
Oh,
project.
it was a very interesting project. We Since he has a beautiful community, and in the last couple of years he has been so active
Yeah.
in raising
He's
awareness about.
actually did some, like put make some impact
He has
in the
made big
space.
impact.
Yeah.
He has done a lot of butterfly effects. He has been in the industry, people know him, give him credit for raising awareness to read the labels. So now when somebody like him is going to build his own brand, and it has to do with packaging, how would the label be like? So the way we made it is like, and since it's a online product, it's not a shelf product, right? That's why we can overload information. So when it comes to you as a customer, it just feels like plethora of information. You don't have to even flip the side. Everything that you need is on the front. There was just simple formulas that we had to make sure, no marketing gimmicks, no fluffs, no go here and there, just give you exactly what's it. That's why even the name Only What's Needed also covers exactly what it is. And to make this project democratic, we made it participatory. So before this project, Studio Sorted, especially led by my partner Netra kind of has a stronger positioning in leading participatory projects. We have done some participatory projects with some social impact companies, so we have an experience of how to involve, and it's a beautiful process when it
Yeah.
comes to participatory, right? It's not very easy to just involve them. There are a lot of stages that requires you to gain their trust, and then take the input, and then how do you use the input. So all of that we is what we had to apply, come up with a structure which allowed us to take the input from the people, um, community of Food Pharma, and use that input to just build the brand. And by the time the brand was launched, it was not a shock, it was not something new. They were already part of it, right? So in very simple words, instead of us selling it to them, they already had a seat on the table when the brand was built, right? And that also helped the brand and helped Food Pharma, like, obviously there is always people going to raise the voice or complain. Even when the brand was launched, a lot of comments on Reddit or stuff were talking about, yo, this guy is not going capitalist, why does he have to need to do that? At the same time, more and more amount of people supported and said, Ki, we were the ones who have built it, and we need this, we have asked for it. And that kind of support, when you get, what else do you need, right? And that just helps. So yeah, I think that's the story of Only What's Needed. I think it's not on the Instagram yet because we are lazy. But the full case study is going to be out soon. So this big fat brand bible of it, and yeah, it's quite nice. But answering back to what you were saying, what who we are, right? And illustrations. So yes, our grassroots have always been very illustration oriented. Why? Maybe because Netra is a great illustrator. I also think in illustrations and graphics. And over the time, we have just been very lucky and fortunate to get one of the best illustrators in the team. Um, Over the years, I've worked with people like Ritam, Tia, Tanmay, Afif, all of these guys, and they are just so insane.
Yeah.
So when you have somebody so insane in your team, like, insane work will come out. It's not like I tell my client that
Yeah.
it has to be illustrative. When they see my sketches or my rough ideas, and I present them three routes, out of which one route is illustrative, they would go for it. So yes, but it's not Abhi. uh, when we were doing a lot of hospitality projects, cafes and restaurants and breweries, more scope of illustrations. Packaging itself also has a good real estate of
Yeah.
illustration. I guess, I don't know. I think personally, I love illustration. Like, if you ask me what's my default
Yeah.
style, it's raw. It's like there have been often times I've asked my designers to draw a logo with the left hand because I like that rawness.
Hmm.
So I though I'm a sucker for rawness, but not everybody has that appetite.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
I
think
think
it's
it has its space in the market, and I think it's happening more and more.
yes, it's happening and more because for a long time, our illustrators, our illustrations in India was heavily inspired by what we saw on the Western Pinterest and all that
Yeah.
stuff. Now, in the last 5, 6, 7 years, our artists have found what a beautiful their own. I mean, they have always existed.
Yeah.
They have always been there, but now they have now become more approachable for commercial use. You
Yeah.
know, they have become more better fit for agencies and people like us to work with them. Some of my very beautiful logos that are very type and very technical. Some are raw sketches of my illustrator. You know, so
Yeah.
these things are a part of a collaborative process. Yeah, and
Yeah,
that's
for the longest time, I think talking about the illustration part and how I think it's getting more and more eyeballs is also, I think for the longest time it was all about like Indian mandala art, if we are talking
yeah,
about that Indian
yeah.
scene. But I think now people have realized that there's so much
There's so much
culture,
more. There's so much
right?
more. From Indian mandalas to just stock imagery to, I mean, it was. We have actually lived in two times. One where people were just using stock imagery like that, and now people are using AI illustrations. So both the times it tells you that if you do not step out or do not think, you will get very like secondary
Yeah.
illustrations, right? You have to love the illustration, you have to love that approach, and then wow, things that an illustration on a packaging can do, nothing else can do that.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've been seeing a lot of posters, next to uh, juice shops, restaurants that is totally done by AI. For example, this mango season is going on, so
Yeah,
they have this,
so easy.
all the mango illustration that's like heavily
Yeah.
like that's AI slop. I also, I mean, I'd rather see flex boards that has spelling mistakes that are authentic than these. So I think there's never been a time where this is more important than ever.
Yeah, but there is place for everything, right? If you do it beautifully, if you put taste to it, everything works. Like we did this big ass mural for Smash Guys. Smash Guys is a brand that
Yeah,
we have done.
burgers, right?
Yeah, Smash Burgers. We called it Smash Guys, and just few months ago they wanted one mural as well. It was a very awkward space, like a very horizontal but very less height. So we took a concept of the Last Supper, and the idea was let's bring all the Smash Guys, all the people that have worked on this brand, and let's put them on the Last Supper table. Can I do that? And can you put that graphic on top of the thing? So yeah, yeah, okay. Anyway, so what do you see on the screen? This we did, and this was a very interesting AI process that we did. So my illustrator sketched rough, took the images of the people, and the way we worked with the AI, even I was quite surprised to see how well it worked. Because what we got, yes, as an artist we can do, but a lot of efforts would have gone into it,
Yeah,
right? And a lot of changes also went through it because of the postures and because people are being represented. They have their own opinions of how they want it to be. So AI really helped us and aided us to create a very beautiful product, which looks very good. So if you go to Smash Guys Indranagar, you can see that. And on the contrary, we do also such analog sketches, which we did for Junie's Bakehouse with a simple concept. It's bakery, and we made a set of illustrations where we are like, it's bakery, right? And our client was very inspired by Iyengar bakeries and the concept of that throughout Bangalore. So our illustrator made this set of illustrations where people's eyes are closed and their noses are up, and all they need to just go is just follow the nose and you'll find it. So a
yeah.
very simple analog concept.
Yes.
Even the drawing style of it is very brush style.
Mm.
So there's space for everything if you do it
Yeah.
right.
Other than that, I mean, you've been making a lot of brands, right? And I think there's always sort of a, not sure if it's sometimes a pressure to create something, out of the box, something that can actually create that value that client has asked you for. what are your some of the favorite brands that you built or maybe you've seen getting built lately that you
That
absolutely
we
like?
have done.
Both, like what's out there, and maybe what you have built.
Honestly, whenever somebody asks me this question, for me, my favorite brand is always the one that I'm working on or that I'm about to work on. You know, the excitement just continues, right? But if you ask me in the past, um, Take a Coffee plays a huge role in my heart because it was one of the first projects that got us the eyeballs. It was on Shark Tank and it was a very massive success. It was everywhere. It was a great challenge because we sold Arabica specialty coffee to people who only drank instant coffee all their life. So how we like strategized it, how we like sold, because we can't just start talking about the speciality and the Arabica aspect to it. We came up with the mascot, we used the colors and we used the boldness
Yeah.
to like sell that idea. um, Apart from that, again, even only what's needed, a huge commercial success. Maybe the reason I'm talking about these brands are because they're very commercially
Yeah.
successful. Maybe that's why they are my favorite. But honestly, I wish I could talk about the briefs that I'm working on right now. I'm very excited about it. We're doing a South Indian restaurant in Munich. Very excited
Wow.
about it because a great opportunity for me to show them the real India, not the old India, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, Imli Pop, I
Oh yeah.
think won us a Curious. I love it. And just like Imli Pop, which is basically self. Those are projects with our friends. Like we did that in collaboration with Local Ferment Co. It's a partnership model, and I've been recently enjoying this model a lot because Sorted like gets to be crazy by themselves. There is nobody telling me what I need to do on the
Yeah.
designs lens. So when something like that happens, you see the true side of Sorted. Similar to that, a new product is coming with Sprendzo. I don't know if you know Sprendzo. It's a sporting
Yeah,
community.
you told me
Yes,
like
so
a
they're
week
also my
back.
really
Yeah.
good friends, and with them we are launching a new set of pickleball collection, or like paddles and t-shirts and bags, and we have the route that we have taken. I can't wait for you guys to see it. It's very, very, very funky. That it is that strong India aspect to it. I think it should be out in 3 weeks.
Nice.
So
Love
yeah.
the energy, Durrani. Um, I wanted to ask. I think this talking about the business side of it, Durrani. I think what I've seen a bunch of the design studios doing is like avoiding sales or like not having enough eyeballs with their work and stuff. How are you maybe solving this problem? I'm assuming, like from the outside, I'm assuming that you have so much work out there. You won so many awards that there's so many, so much inbounds that's happening. Would love to know more about sort of your sales side and how you're bringing projects. What's the percent of projects that you're getting inbound and like you reaching out to people?
Hmm. Okay. Um, Fortunately, we have been very lucky with a lot of inquiries that come to us. So there's hardly any outreaching that we do. I'm not so proud of it, but at the same time, I'm proud of the fact that I don't have to do outreach. I would love to do more outreach, but we'd hardly do anything. But let me talk about how we attract inquiries, right? I think that'll be a good answer. One, word of mouth, right? Just like how we mentioned, right? The culture that we subconsciously, consciously keep building every day from our Instagram, from our stories, from just existing, from talking to you, from talking to everybody, right? It just tells people that काम तो ठीक है, लोग अच्छे लग रहे हैं, मजा
Yeah,
आएगा काम
yeah,
करके.
yeah.
So that really helps with trust, and that really pushes people to talk about us to other ones. Me and Netra, both of us have been very social. We know a lot of people, and we like to, be friends with everybody. So that helps. Second is website. Uh, Netra again. So Netra, if Netra handles the business side of things and also the website and the SEO of Studio Sorted. So she has done a great job with the SEO. We have consciously spent time and efforts on, making sure that we are featured or we get covered in AI researches. How has she done it? I don't know the details, but she tells me that. And actually, a lot of inquiries that we get is when people search top studios in Bangalore on
Hmm.
ChatGPT or Gemini, and we get featured a lot of times. And Usually, a lot of big companies, when they have marketing folks, they do this kind of research because they don't have time to, like,
Yeah.
So because of that, we get a lot of inquiries on
Yeah,
that
that's a
front.
new way of searching for
Exactly.
your stuff.
Right. We have a team of two business managers, which is again a very important investment for all the agencies. We believe as founders we can do all of that. You can't. Maybe at a smaller stage we can, but when it becomes 10 to 20 inquiries a day, you need a strong business
Yeah.
manager to like take up all the calls, to work on proposals, because I believe every proposal has to be perfect and tailor made for everyone. How
Yeah.
much of templates and stuff we can have, the starting and the ending of it has to be subjective to who we are speaking to.
Is there a team who just does the pitch decks?
Yes.
Just proposals?
Yeah, I like it's led by Abhinav from my team, also an architect, my junior from college. Um, he is the one who takes up, he's the one who's responsible for all the new inquiries, of all the onboarding, all the proposals. Wherever he feels that he needs to bring on the founders, he will bring it, and we will then drive the call, drive the meeting, and then make the proposal. But usually 90, 70, 80% he handles all the proposals. And obviously there is a lot of 5 6 years of proposals and case studies that are there. And also we we have spent a lot of time in automation, uh, both using Claude and ChatGPT. Like, it knows all my pricing structure, it has everything. So the first round is very fast for us. We just have to put the scope of work. It also has link to my work, so it's able to suggest me. I mean, because I might know of everything, but
Yeah.
when Abhinav or anybody else is working
Yeah.
on it, they might not be aware of all the stuff that has happened in the last 7 years. So through automation, we have made it very fast to make sure that we get the right numbers and we get the right thing. And at the same time, when we are like pricing, we have to be careful and mindful to who we are pricing to. And we are biased towards young entrepreneur. I mean, we will be fair towards young and first time
Yeah.
entrepreneurs versus everybody else. Apart from that, I feel just finding a very interest. One of the reasons why it takes us a lot of time to put our work out on social media is because personally I take a lot of efforts and headache of making sure when the work goes out, it doesn't go out in a very typical agency way.
Hmm.
So that is because when it
Yeah.
goes in a very typical agency way, it hangs out for us, or for the designers only. It
Yeah.
doesn't,
Yeah.
break the algorithm and goes to people who are not following the design trends. So
Makes
when you
sense.
do that right, both on the website and Instagram, your work travels to the places on social medias and on other channels to right people, and then you get more
So I
inquiries.
think when you put up all this fun stuff out there on Instagram, I'm sure it also attracts talent, right?
Yeah.
And crazy people. Tell us about your hiring and like how do you like interview people?
Uh, it's a very stressful thing because we really expect, like, we really keep very high expectations because we have worked with people who are so exceptional. So as much as we get a lot of lot of applications, but finding that perfect match, because whenever we are hiring somebody, we usually have 3 round of interviews. The first would be my partner. She would, I mean, if you ask me, like, how will we even look through the portfolios? First is the portfolio selection that my HR and Netra, my partner, would go through it. Then there are some profiles shortlisted. Then after that, she will schedule some interviews. If it's a creative role, then I will be the one first taking the interview. If it's junior or intern, then my senior designers will be taking. But let's talk about senior roles here. Um, which I'm going through right now because we are hiring senior leadership. And for an agency like us, it's always like hiring young folks, but then like realizing, oh, it's too much young. We
Yeah.
need some sense of senior. Then you hire a senior. So it's always like oscillation between these two. And you always have to keep maintaining it. With juniors, you can give them a lot of room for a lot of growth and potential, and you can hire them purely on potential. You can hire them on some X factor. That's how we go about it. Even if just one thing about you is good, that's it. Don't worry. I'm sure you'll be a great asset. But when it comes to senior with 3 or 4 years of experience, I personally am very particular about how even the CV come margin. Like, I feel if this guy's gonna join my team, this guy or girl's gonna join my team, you better be obsessed with, like you should
Yeah.
have OCD with design. You better be obsessed with how everything should look, should be perfect on both your CV, your portfolio. One thing that I do, which I even tell folks, is the first thing I do is I check their Instagram. I find Instagram and I open their Instagram. I go through it. It gives me a sense of the vibe. And usually, a lot of people, the stuff that they put on Instagram is something that is at that time exciting them at that moment. Not a lot of that is also on on their website. So yeah, Instagram stalking is part of my thing. Yeah, and then interview them. In the interview, it's a nice roller coaster ride where my job is to extract things that they would not be comfortable to say, but then I have to achieve that trust and then
Yeah.
make them talk about their strengths, weaknesses, all that stuff. And then once they are shortlisted, then the HR would do the difficult talks of negotiations and numbers.
Yeah.
I don't get into that.
I mean, it's fun. I mean, this is something that I wanna know from you. I haven't seen a lot of like these like people are sort of anti HRs, like in a bunch of small studios or even smaller firms. What are your thoughts? What are the problems that these folks are solving? I
So
mean, it's always like when we talk about HR, it's always I've seen number of people saying that they
yeah,
create more problems than solutions.
true, true. No, I've heard, and um, so at Sorted, no, like for a long time, we've had a very nice, cute, informal structure where there was no hierarchy. It was the two founders and then a bunch of designers, strategists, right? Just in the last couple of months, I would say in the last six to 12 months, we have tried to become more of an organized structure. Now we have project managers, we have a business manager, we have an HR. Now you're talking about HR. Uh, it's yes, if the HR goes by a very typical role, I think even I'll get bored. Even I will also start questioning the HR and why they exist. So it took me a lot of time for me and Netra. So Netra is the one who works closely with HR
Yeah.
because HR is not just on the out front helping. She's also helping us setting up our policies for leave and appraisal, things that we were like things that we were winging throughout the last 5 6 years. So now we have properly put a structure to it. People now know how can they get an appraisal. People now know what they need to do to climb the ladder. Now things are clear, things are on paper, which was not there earlier. So that has really helped, and it is a very good move. And obviously, one more thing is that if anybody has a problem with the founders, who will they talk to? They can't talk to Netra about the problem with me. She will tell me, right? So then the HR becomes a neutral person
Yeah.
who you can speak to. And then obviously it takes time. You have to, like, I remember the first day when I told the team about my HR and the HR had a call with everybody. Everybody just started asking her questions. Ki, Aisa kyun? Okay, so what about this? So if I spend 5 minutes more, there were so many questions. I'm like, guys, chill, chill, chill. Everybody was like, ki, oh, whoa, 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 what is this? What is this? So then I realized, okay, okay, okay. I need to, like, slowly
Yeah.
bring it, and I also need to speak to the HR and tell her because she comes from a very corporate background.
Yeah.
So then even the appraisal policy that we have made is made in such a way that it's very subjective. It's very tailor made to Studio Sorted and how we wish our people to be both tangible and intangibly upskilling themselves. So I feel, yeah, I mean, if the HR policies and the HR way of method is sensitive and is tailor made to how a creative industry works, it's really is a game changer,
Yeah.
especially for my partner because a lot of time goes away.
Yeah. Interesting. I'm also very. I love the initiatives that you've been doing. The content that you put out. We've talked about that. Uh, wha- I mean, I want to know more about your type foundry that you've created. Then there's Panic Press. And maybe I'm forgetting one more stuff.
South End, the architecture studio that we don't do anymore. But yeah, uh,
So where is this coming from? Is this like you try to kind of niche down with a specific sub label or something?
so over the years, the fact that Netra and I both are self-taught designers, a lot of the stuff that we've established, systems and guides, and how a strategy and the design should be, a lot of it is borrowed by talented people who have joined us in the team. So very early in the years, we have realized that we need to borrow and basically capitalize on somebody's passion. That's the best way to make something out of it more than who we are. So over the years, we have realized that iske pehle bhi we have started to do our own. We started a production agency. We started a content agency. But usme the problem was the structure, the leadership of that was still the same as sorted. That means me and my partner were both the leaders there. Then we realized we were just not able to, take care of
Yeah.
everything because our focus will always be on the bread and butter. So what we have realized and has really worked for us is for Panic Press, my co-founder is Tanmay, who was an illustrator with us for the last 3-4 years. Ek saal pehle he fully transitioned into Panic Press, and since the for him it's so much of skin in the game now, he becomes a really important stakeholder, and it's now it's and it's an extension of his passion. We are building something around him, so it's also easier for us to know how the three stakeholders are acting. So that is the story of Panic Press, which started Type Foundry. Similar, Anshul, my senior lead designer, he is a very, very, very type nerd. He went to Type Paris to polish more of that. And one of the reasons why our logos are so cool and so, according to me at least, are so balanced is because of the type logic and science that goes into it. So with Type Foundry, we have been working on it since the last 1 year. In I would say maybe by July or August we will be launching with 9 fonts of ours. And
Wow.
I do not have a lot of experience in type. Again, similar setup, just trying to create a system so that I can support Anshul's passion and create a team around it. So yeah, I think now he is fully transitioning into Type Foundry,
Yeah.
and I'm going to be hiring a couple of folks for Type Foundry, and then yeah, soon you will see the fonts rolling out, and
Yeah.
you will see how cool they are.
So you saw an opportunity inside your team that what could be like new
Exactly,
verticals where the values are aligned.
exactly. It was an opportunity inside the team.
Yeah.
Ideally, it should be an opportunity outside in the market that should lead to what your business model should
Yeah.
be. But I don't think I am in this industry to start a lot of brands. Maybe yes, I'm learning. I in few years I will be doing it. But what I know and how to do well is how to build service agencies and how to build teams.
Yeah.
So let me start with something I already know, but finding it within.
Lovely. Yeah, I mean, this is what I also been seeing is that it's like a norm that at one point these service agencies, design studios, they come up with their own brand sometimes,
Yeah,
merch, maybe fashion brand
yeah.
or
That's how we
sometimes.
started Panic Press.
Hmm.
But then we realized we're living in a world of Swiggy. One problem in your t-shirt, or if it is 2 days late, everybody's gonna complain and you need a customer support. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh damn, we need a customer support. We don't have it. So
So
yeah.
never thought of like, okay, maybe Panic Press could have been like that brand, but other
That's how
than
we
that.
started Panic Press to be an apparel brand. But then we realized we need a lot of capital, we need a lot of time, and probably a bit more experience
Yeah.
to fully fledge into it. Because honestly, I can do it very organically and at a very slow space. But I would rather do a bit of R&D and do other cool things which I don't need to think about customer support or post transaction, right? So we do a lot of events
Yeah.
at Panic Press. We do a lot of events. We take a lot of orders in the B2B industry, which is fun. And we are working on a collection, but I'm not sure like when are we going to be fully ready to go out.
Yeah. Durrani, you have made all of this conversation, your journey, very, very easy. Tell us about the difficult part that comes with your role.
Oh man, there are a lot of that. I mean, let's just start with lack of sleep. Your mind doesn't shut off. It's as an entrepreneur, especially as a creative director in the team, you just keep you. I mean, it's very difficult, and it's how it should be, right? It should not be so easy for you to settle when it comes to even the vision and how the things look. So for me, every day, it's just every day is like I basically go day by day. I can't plan a week. Like it's maybe the max I can plan is 3 days, right? Because so yeah, it's a lot of firefighting. It's a lot of telling myself, okay, it's fine. I have a lot of cool ideas, but I don't need to do all of them. So,
Yeah.
as I get mature, as I back some years in my thing, I'm also gaining that confidence to say no to myself. There's a quote by Jeff Bezos where he says, right, a lot of good ideas can kill your company because a good idea needs a proper leadership. And if you do not add proper leadership, it's going to add a pipeline to a lot of other things already happening which need to be out
Yeah.
there. So that is a constant battle for me to make sure that I'm able to phase out. Because of my ADHD, I am very instinct, I am very spontaneous, and not and for me, I have to align myself to, you know, um, balance my expectations because not everybody thinks and or acts like me. On the other hand, I am married to my business partner. So a lot of people ask me, how is it working with your wife? So it's damn fun, but at the same time, we bring work everywhere and we bring personal life everywhere, right? So as much as it sounds fantastic, it can also get ugly. But I don't think I'm complaining on that factor. Yeah, I mean, apart from that, hiring, always looking for the best folks. Um, keeping it also takes even for me, at the start when we started our studio, we like personally me and Netha really wanted to like push back on that typical agency culture. We really wanted to set up a beautiful culture, but it takes a lot of efforts. It takes a lot of like efforts and sweat to
Yeah.
maintain that, to like keep everybody happy to. And we are very particular and sensitive of my A person should like that, B person should like that, C. Sometimes we have to let go of people not because they are bad at designing, it's just they didn't fit in the vibe. So a lot of these things we have to think of it. Basically, it's just in a very, if I summarize it, my role feels like a host in a very volatile party. That's it.
Yeah. Love how you explained it, Durrani. I hope it gets better. And yeah, right. I mean, I'm sure that it's always. I think for a person like you, I think it's always better when things are, moving at a certain pace. And I think that's maybe the way to move forward. That actually takes us to the end of the podcast, Durrani. I would love to know, about your vision. Where are you taking Studio Sorted? What are the maybe bunch of things that you think are gonna be like the best case scenario that, you do the projects you want to do, and even for audience like who are curious about your work.
I have few visions on personal level, company level, outside company level. As I said, I struggle with planning things so much in the future because I feel you set yourself for disappointment, but at the same time, you have to balance it with some long term goals as well. So, let's say on a personal level, as stupid as it sounds, I see myself teaching in some Ivy League in few years. Am I stuck to the college or academics factor? No, I believe if I am able to achieve something like that, that means my work and my philosophy and thought leadership has traveled across the globe, which is a good consequence of how uh, the team and the work is flowing. That's how also we set up a goal for Forbes, right? Like when I was 24, 25. For the brand Studio Sorted, right now we have told ourselves that this year and the next year we want to focus a lot on craft. By that I mean we want to focus a lot on making sure that our projects are just top notch because of how things have happened in the past. Fortunately, we are getting all the dream briefs. So there is nothing to complain. But the dream brief, you have to do justice to that. And if I have to do justice to that, I have to go all in.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I can't go all in at all the times. I'll get saturated. I'll just get burnt out. So we get these phases, right? So I feel right now, with the way the briefs are coming, the way I'm trying to slowly build the leadership, the way I'm trying to get capital so that I can afford people who can replace me in my thinking, all of that takes time. But I see in the next 2 years, us, like the country, expecting a lot of the projects that makes our brands famous, our brands global, our Indians proud about it, and you will see Sorted being behind it. And on the other hand, I we love culture, we love community, and I know how content and how this whole experiences aspect is growing. A lot of brands are getting back into the physical experiences with so much of AI and the digital world side of things. Everybody is trying to get their hands onto the physical experiences. Am I saying I'm trying to get onto the bandwagon? Maybe, but we have been at this since the start of Sorted because we always wanted to be
Yeah.
approachable and celebrate community workshops culture. So now I'm also building a team on the side of an outreach team of a community manager team, of production folks at the studio. The way we if we should actually you should visit my new studio. The way we have built it, it's like a third space. The way, like, having an NPR tiny desk in the corner kind of stuff. So the vision is to like host, do things, bring people together, and in just years, agency रहेगा कि नहीं रहेगा पता नहीं, but Sorted as the name should bring out something. Either it's an experience, or it's the brand that has built the best brands, or it is just a cool space that people just go there. I don't know. It can go anywhere, but at this stage, I'm gonna try all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely love the vision. Thanks a lot for the conversation, Durrani. Had a absolute great time talking
Thank
to you.
you. Thank you. Cheers.
I hope to do another one soon, maybe.
Soon. I think we can bring my partner, and she can talk
Yeah.
about all the ugly side of things that I don't talk about because I don't understand those.
All right.
All right. Cheers.